What is up, guys? Just got back from the tamriel. Hey, okay. Hold on. Sin to Onea. Sorry. Someone thought I was a tournament admin. I'm just a Discord admin for this one. Tamriel Summer Games first round. I'm gonna show you guys what happened. It's between me and mihaxxl, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's from Russia, so there's a little issue scheduling it, but we got it done. I faced him. The decks I brought to this tournament is a very budget control deck, which I was a little scared to bring, but you know, I'm gonna give it my all. I did make Legend with it overall, and I have done pretty well in Legend with it. I would say probably a 60% win rate, which isn't good enough for me. That's why I'm not gonna put it on Legend decks and tell you it's a good budget control deck. But at the same time, that's I think good enough to do okay in a tournament. So that's why I brought it anyways. Otherwise, I just wouldn't join the tournament. To be honest with you, I would feel like I want to win as best as possible, so I don't want to just bring janky decks. Although I will say my decks aren't the best. Not even close because they're budget, but at the same time, you know, I brought tokens as well, yellow, purple tokens, and that deck's very strong. So let's see what happens. It's going to take a little bit because we're getting all situated. Discord had issues today to where you couldn't PM or anything, so that was pretty freaking annoying to deal with. I'm going to start out my token deck. The reason why I started out is I know his decks, he knows my decks. His decks, one of them is a pretty zooey goblin deck, and the other one is an extremely hardcore control deck where he has pretty decent cards for it, and he's gotten rank 1 legend with. So I basically want to try to tilt him as best as possible. He starts with his weaker deck, I start with my stronger deck. So we both brought different kind of strategies for this, best of 3. It's Conquest, which means once one of us wins with the deck, we cannot use that deck again. This deck he has, it's a very zoo-ish deck where he tries to just flood the board as much as possible with weak creatures, like Goblin Skulk, drawing the 0 cost, and then for removal he uses the sacrificial, I forgot what it's called, but it's the one that sacrifices a creature and then deals 5 damage to a random enemy creature. Here I'm just going to hit face. I'm thinking, do I want to shackle that just to stop what he's drawing? But I don't really think it's worth it to stop the sacrificial, whatever. This turn, Resolute Ally is a pretty obvious play. I don't want to go too slow into this. I want to try to get rid of that goblin next turn. Wolf could have been also a fine play. But I was thinking also, oh, I could Wolf Imprison next turn, worst case. So I wanted to go ahead and save that. Resolute Ally this turn, get rid of him. Hopefully contest the goblin. So don't want him to just draw infinite cards. That could become a pretty big issue. Okay. Next turn I'm probably going to play Legionnaire. I don't remember what I do, but I think I play Legionnaire, depending on what I draw. I hope I play Legionnaire. Okay. Because next turn I'll most likely Broom and Profiteer into Highwayman, try to get some card draw going. Hopefully, is the plan. Sorry if you guys can hear that. Someone's in the shower right now, so. I mean, he's thinking really hard about his play. This tournament, by the way, guys, 64 players, Nintendo 64 old school style. Not only that, but TVP, Justin Larson, Dovahkiin. I mean, we're talking about some really high quality players, all knocked out in the first round. So, yeah, the competition for this tournament is huge. I cannot wait to see the deck that makes it to the top. Cannot wait to see how this tournament ends up going. Like what decks make it to the top, what player makes it to the top, everything. It's really interesting. Here I am semi-questioning if I want to play first or break the rune first. But I just played this game, by the way, so I can semi-remember some of this stuff. Think about if I want to try to get card draw going, or if I want to try to do pack wolf. I was also thinking about if there's any way to keep my 3-4 alive. There isn't really, unless I want to really lose out on tempo, and that's not something I want to do as a flood token deck. That's a little misfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Elusive Schemer, so that's kind of like the combo of his deck. He plays these Elusive Schemers, makes them cost 0. There's the Cruel Fire Bloom, which is the card I was trying to pronounce earlier and say what it meant. And then he draws his Schemers back at 0 cost, and he just repeatedly does that over and over and tries to flood the board with a lot of damage. It's a pretty interesting deck. Controls the board by using Cruel Fire Bloom. I kind of like it. It's a pretty cool deck. Also, like I said, mihaxxl is Russian. I'm NA, so it's kind of like sort of representing, I guess. Even though I'm technically Korean, but let's just go with NA. But, alright, here, I was thinking about what I wanted to do really hard. And I think I'm going to imprison, because I want to go ahead and draw a card. I'd rather draw a card here than... It could have been a mistake, but overall I think it was worth it, especially with that draw. But even if I didn't draw that, I think overall that was the better play, because I'm running out of cards. I just want to get this card draw. I want to have more options. Does he get the Fireball? He does. That is unfortunate. He's going to go ahead and run in his Schemer, probably so he can draw his Schemer back anyways and play it for free. Alright, that's a good Prophecy. To be fair though, I'm running quite a bit of Prophecy in this deck. I'm actually running a lot of Prophecy in this deck. So, I should be hitting it quite a bit. I run a lot of Prophecies in both my decks because... Well, this one actually probably doesn't make as much sense as the other one, but the other one is a control deck, so I want to have as much Prophecy as possible when I'm taking the damage to play my guards and all that stuff and try to just stall out as best as possible for my big creatures like Fear. Right now I'm thinking I could have lethal pretty soon. I'm definitely knowing I'm going to play Resolute Ally next turn. That's a good Fire Bloom for me. That's good that it hit face. He probably doesn't run in. He just doesn't want me to draw another card, actually. Smart of him. The more options Fled has, you're just going to lose. If you let a Fled deck draw a lot of cards, the only reason why I run the Khajiit, by the way, is because it's very a budget option. That card's not very good in this deck at all. You should run Namira's. But, he doesn't have very many Prophecies, by the way. That's one thing Shaso mentioned. So here, kind of the plan is I could Warcry pretty soon. I can do a lot of damage. I was counting up the damage in my head. I can't recall it right now, but I can quickly count it. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17 damage. So I'm just barely out of lethal range. I'm obviously going to imprison that. I just can't let that get out of control. I'm going to kill his Schemer. And then, do I Warcry already? That's the question. No, I do not. I'm just going to run them in. Going to pop the rune first before attacking with my 3 attack, just in case he does get a rune. Going to play her in Scouting Patrol. Try to get out as much damage as possible. Fill both my lanes. And Warcry should be lethal next turn, depending on what he draws. Okay, a Courier. Wordcrafter. It's about the safest he can be and think he can be. But nope, that's lethal. Depending on what runes, if he gets any Prophecy. This guy, like, I think his deck had like two Prophecies and that's it. Like 3 of 2 Prophecies and that was it. Camlorn, Sentinel, Lightning Bolt. Okay, so he had 3. He had 9, technically 9 Prophecies out of 50 cards, so he had like none Prophecies. I'm gonna go ahead and attack him with the 1/1 first because there's no point to Warcry yet. Doesn't do anything. I'm gonna pop the board anyways. Now I'm gonna Warcry and I'm gonna hope for lethal. If he gets a rune here, it could be pretty devastating. Doesn't. GG. Now unfortunately, because it's Conquest, if this is last hero standing, I'd be in a really, really good spot. But because it's Conquest, now I can't use that deck again, and he still has 2 decks to use however he'd like against my next deck, which, like I said, is a very budget control deck, so let's see how this goes. Typing with them in Discord. There we go. Don't worry, the Discord in between doesn't last very long. It was just quickly like, are you ready for the next match? Yeah, I'm ready. And then into it. I made a huge mistake here. I kept Mundus Stone. Overall, it's extremely high value, but the issue is that I knew his deck is a Zoo Flood deck. So keeping Mundus Stone was not the right call, but I did draw into a lot of other 4-drops, so maybe it would be okay. The idea was I was expecting to get a really bad hand, to be honest with you, so I was thinking I'll play Mundus Stone turn 4 and then hopefully get Drain on something big later on, which would make it worth it to have such a slow hand. But as you can see, nope, just slow hand, can't play anything forever. If I had the magic up bot, like if I was going second as a control deck, it would actually be an advantage. But usually if you're going first, you have the advantage. Just if you're playing control, obviously going second is almost always an advantage over going first. Still can't do anything. Next turn I remember what I do, and it was certainly a mistake. I'm going to play the green pack stalker. While he doesn't have very many things on board, like right now, this is the perfect time for me to play Mundus Stone and just hope for a good value. But I panicked a bit because he had a lot of stuff on board, and I decided to play Green Pact, knowing that his deck most likely has Cruel Fire Bloom and Lightning Bolts, which means that card's not going to survive at all. It was just a wasted turn. There was no point to do that at all. He literally doesn't have to do really anything to get rid of this. Playing Mundus Stone there was 100% the right call. Didn't do it. Playing Sadris Agent there even would have been a better play. Just flooding the board again. This turn, I was thinking, oh, it's too late. It's too late. And then I was like, just gotta do this. Play him, play Wardcrafter in the other lane to contest the 2-2, and then ward him off. That way he has to run, hopefully, both of them in at least once. Like, there's so many cards in this deck I don't want to run. I don't want to run Schemers. Schemers are way too weak for control. Don't want to run... Yeah, this deck, it's just... There's, I would say like 75% of this deck I'll take out the second I get better cards. Whereas the token deck, it's only like 25% to 30%. Tops. Okay, Firebolt's my 2-1. He wins the Cunning Ally thing. Which is a little lucky for him because he does run a lot of green. But he also runs a lot of blue, so. Okay. I think I Quinral Burglar this turn. It's a really slow play, but I just felt like it was my best play. If I had Ice Storms or some kind of AoE like Control's supposed to have, this board would not look anywhere near as scary as it does right now. But unfortunately I don't. Like, this would be the perfect turn to have Ice Storm. I could attack the Burglar in, Ice Storm, and probably win the game off of that alone. But like I said, don't run Ice Storms in this deck. Don't run any kind of AoE at all. I have to run jank things like Crushing Blow and Elusive Schemer for cycle. I was ready to contest this board pretty well and play Burglar. Unfortunately now, he's most likely going to have lethal, but I felt like my best play was to kill this, get the drain off anyways, even if he's most likely going to have lethal. I felt like this was just my best play. Play to win, not play to not lose, right? Like, even if I killed the Cunning Ally there with Crushing Blow and then Lightning Bolted, like, what, 2-2? He still most likely would have lethal. So 1-1. Time for the final match. So I made a few misplays there. Like I should have definitely played Mundastone, or Mungastone as I like to call it. Certainly would have been slow. Certainly wouldn't have contested the board, but it would have been a better play than playing basically a free 0 Magicka trade for him after I know his deck. So huge mistake on my part. Here we go, final match of the first round. For me. This is a way better start. I was tempted to top spot the lightning bolt to try to higher up my prophecy chances, but I figured I had so much prophecy. I figured this was a good enough start to try to build up tempo.
Your destruction is at hand.
The issue of control deck going first. Because he's a control deck going second. His control deck is way better than mine. Obviously I'm going to crush and blow that. Don't want that to get any bigger or to give HP to any minion at all, because that's when that gets value. A trade of 3 Magicka for 3 Magicka is perfectly fine for me. 1 for 1. Still not too bad. That's a really good draw. I can play Black Sap, and then I can play on Golem in the other lane. Hopefully I draw these assassins quickly. That would be amazing if I could draw one next turn. Highly unlikely though. Get Odoving like always. I'm probably not going to run Odoving in the complete version of this deck. I might, but highly unlikely. He's just so freaking slow. Like, Ice Storms do his job so much better and stuff. You don't get the body or anything, but Ice Storms are a lot faster, which is the main thing that matters. And this is just looking very bad for me. Play the Arcanist, I guess I decide. I think I made a mistake here, actually. I should have played the Fighters Guild in the right lane as well, just to guarantee there was no way he was going to let that 3-1 survive, because 3-1 is a lot of damage to my face. So that was a mistake, because what's Fighter Guild's going to do to the other lane? He's just going to trade with a 2-1. Best case, worst case, he dies for free. So much damage. Another synergy with that. It's looking very grim for me now. He gets a really strong card off of it. Just looking even more grim for me. I could Mundastone and High Rock. I decided to crushing blow this. I guess I don't. Either way, it all looks bad, no matter what play I make. Decided to Stalker that lane. I should have seen what spell I got off. That was a mistake. I just want to make sure that 3-1 dies next turn, no matter what. I don't really have any. I don't have any. What am I trying to say? Guards to block up the left lane, sadly. So that prophecy is pretty solid. Although I probably should have gotten at least one more prophecy, considering I'm running 3 Camelorn Sentinels, 3 Black Sap Protectors, 3 Lightning Bolts. I'm running more prophecy even as well. I'm just forgetting what it is. I'm running like half my deck is prophecy almost. Well, not half, but 15's like a good chunk of it, probably about a fourth. So what do I decide to do here? I guess I decided to do that just to hope he can't kill me. That was probably overall my best play. The guy's running out of cards. As long as I can just survive this wave, I'm in a decent spot. If I can find some drain. If I can just survive this board right here, then I can stabilize, then I think I can take this game. He's really thinking hard about this play. Okay. Another Crow Fire Bloom. Luckily it didn't go to her, so I'm not directly dead. Now I'm pretty much dead. If I could play Odahviing this turn, once again if I had Ice Storm, would it save me? Well, it would have saved me earlier, but it won't save me this turn. Now I'm just like goofing around. I'm gonna see if I can get charge off this, because why not? Didn't get it anyways. Good game, guys. Thanks for watching the first round. mihaxxl27 got me, or mihaxxl, or mihaxxl, whatever. So good game to him. Wish him luck in the rest of the tournament. And thanks for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you can compete in the next tournament that's community ran by us. And I love you all. Have a great night, great day, wherever you're from, as my great friend Shimo would say.